So this is a huge departure for anything that you've ever seen from me here on Weekly 50. I've never taken a picture like this, and I'm super excited for not just this picture, but so many things going forward after taking this picture. This is a Super Nintendo controller. This is actually from our SNES Classic Edition, which we got in, I think, boy, was it 2016? Has it really been that long? I don't know. It's the Super Nintendo, except in mini form, that Nintendo released a couple years ago, and it has the normal controllers. So, like, this is a real Super Nintendo controller that plugs into a special version of the Super Nintendo that Nintendo made. Anyway, none of that really matters because we're not here to talk about Nintendos. We're here to talk about this photo. And this was made possible by some external off-camera lighting that I recently got on the recommendation from a friend at work. Her name is Nina, and she came in to do a little promotional piece on some books that various people read when we were younger, and she had these, she called them Pavo tubes, these little off-camera lighting tubes, and I'd never seen anything like this before. And I spent a few minutes playing around with these little lighting tubes, and I thought, this is amazing. They're like a foot long, and they can change into any color you want, any brightness you want. They will, you can have them do a plain white with any color temperature you want. I mean, they're amazing, and they are, I think, $80. And so she showed me these lighting tubes, and I was just absolutely blown away. And I thought, I have got to get me a couple of these lighting tubes. So very quickly, I went and ordered a couple lighting tubes. And this is one of the first shots I took with the two lighting tubes. And I was just like astonished that I could get this photo. That my kids were just like, Dad, did you get this from a magazine? And no, I just took this. This is actually sitting on top of our washing machine. There's nothing particularly fancy about this. And when I say my kids said it's in a magazine, I don't mean to be self-aggrandizing. I just mean, like, my kids were shocked that I could get this photo, as was I, because I've never in my life taken a photo like this. So it was like this whole new experience for me. I did not know at all what I was doing with these lights other than just playing around. I had two lights, one on the left, one on the right, both just out of frame. And if you look at the coloring here is a little interesting because the color of the surface on the left is more red, but the controller is more orangey. It's just one light, but it casts like a slightly different color based on I don't know, like the controller itself is actually a gray. So maybe that is why the light shows up as orange. And the light on the right is kind of I think it had it as like a bluish temperature. And this to me it's almost like a proof of concept looking at this photo. It's not like this one photo is like some sort of major award-winning photo. It's almost like back when I first got my 50mm lens years and years ago, like 10 years ago. And I was like, it was a revelation for me that I, a lowly, normal human being, could suddenly take the kinds of photos that I had only seen in magazines and I don't know. I thought that there was a level of photography that was unattainable to a mere normal everyday person like me. Well, turns out it's not. You just need, in my case, a 50mm lens, or for this week's photo, a couple of external lighting tubes. So I'm super excited for what this means for the future of my photography and the types of things I'll be able to explore.